Imagine standing at the edge of a vast door. Behind it lies everything you've ever wanted, every dream you've held close, every goal you've chased with burning desire. But the door is locked, and you have no key. What if I told you the key is not hidden, not lost, but right there in your hands? The secret is not in what you do, but in what you ask for. The art of asking is the invisible force that turns the impossible into the inevitable. Most people live their lives silently hoping, wishing, and waiting for miracles to happen, unaware that the simple act of asking can open doors to extraordinary opportunities. Asking is not just a request. It is a powerful strategy, a skill that shapes destinies. Yet, why is it that some people seem to get everything they want, while others stay stuck, watching life pass them by? The answer lies in mastering how to ask, not just asking blindly, but asking with purpose, confidence, and clarity. To get whatever you want, you must first conquer your own fears and doubts. Fear of rejection, fear of sounding needy, fear of being turned down. These are the chains that keep you locked outside your own potential. But when you embrace asking as a courageous act, something magical happens. You stop waiting for the world to give you permission, and instead claim your right to receive. Asking is an act of bravery, a declaration that you know your worth and demand to be seen, but there is an art to it. You cannot ask aimlessly. You must know exactly what you want, paint it with vivid detail in your mind, and believe it is possible. Then you craft your ask like a masterpiece, clear, respectful, direct, and compelling. The words you choose, the tone you use, even the timing, all influence whether your ask will be answered. Listening is part of this art. When you ask, you must listen deeply, not just to the words you want to hear, but to the subtle responses, the pauses, the hesitations. These clues guide you on how to adjust your ask or your approach. Asking is a dance, a two-way exchange that builds connection and trust. Remember, every no you receive is not a dead end, but a step closer to your yes. Each rejection refines your ask, sharpens your resolve, and pushes you toward the outcome you desire. The greatest achievers are those who persistently ask, learn, and ask again with ever more precision and heart. So, what if the secret to getting everything you want isn't hidden in complicated strategies or lucky breaks, but simply in mastering the art of asking? What if your next bold question is the one that changes your life forever? The door is waiting. The key is in your hands. Will you ask? Imagine standing just inches away from a treasure chest, its lid sealed tight, shimmering with the promise of everything you've ever dreamed of: success, happiness, freedom. That chest doesn't open by chance. It requires a key, and that key is the art of asking. Asking is not some trivial or awkward gesture. It is the foundational force that moves the universe in your favor. Without asking, you remain invisible to the possibilities around you, like a whisper lost in the wind. But when you ask, you declare your presence, your intention, your desire. It's the moment where your dream moves from the shadows into the light. Every opportunity, every favor, every chance at growth is hidden behind a door that only opens when you speak up and make your needs known. Whether it's asking for help, for a chance, for resources, or even for feedback, asking is the first step to transformation. It is how ideas become reality and wishes become achievements. Think about it. The most successful people didn't just wait for good fortune. They asked for it. They asked for advice, for introductions, for second chances, for opportunities to prove themselves. They understood that asking is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of belief in what is possible. It is the act that signals to the world that you are ready to receive, ready to grow, and ready to claim your place. So, the art of asking is the art of unlocking potential. It's the invisible key that turns hesitation into action, dreams into plans, and plans into results. When you grasp this truth, you hold in your hands the power to get whatever you want, because the universe responds not to silence or doubt, but to the boldness of a clear, confident ask. Fear is the silent thief that steals your power before you even get the chance to ask. It creeps in as doubt, whispering that you're not worthy, that your request is too bold, or that rejection will scar you forever. This fear of being turned down, of sounding needy or desperate, paralyzes more dreams than any external obstacle ever could. But here's the truth few dare to admit. The biggest barrier to getting what you want isn't the world outside. It's the wall you build inside yourself. When you stand at that threshold, trembling with uncertainty, know this asking is an act of courage. It means stepping into vulnerability, risking discomfort, and saying, "I deserve this. I'm willing to take the chance." Every great success story is built on countless moments of bravery, like this moments where fear knocked at the door, but the person inside chose to open it anyway. Imagine if Thomas Edison had feared the 100th failure and never asked for another shot, or if Oprah had been too afraid to ask for that first interview opportunity. The world changes when you replace fear with determination. Asking breaks the chains of silence and invisibility, transforming you from a passive dreamer into an active creator of your reality. The moment you push past that fear, you reclaim your power. You no longer wait for permission, you demand your place at the table. Fear may still knock, but it becomes a signal, not a stop sign. And with every ask, your confidence grows, making the next one easier, stronger, and more unstoppable. Because the art of asking begins when you decide fear won't be your master, but your motivator. Clarity is the compass that guides your ask through the fog of uncertainty. When you don't know exactly what you want, your requests become vague whispers lost in a crowded room. But when you define your desire with sharp precision, something remarkable happens. Your ask becomes a beacon, impossible to ignore. The universe doesn't respond to wishy-washy hopes or half-formed dreams. It responds to clarity. Picture yourself standing before a gatekeeper, holding the key to your future. If you hand them a map with smudged lines and unclear directions, they won't know which path to open. But if your map is drawn with bold strokes, every detail in place, the gate swings wide without hesitation. That's the power of specificity in asking. Knowing exactly what you want means you've taken the time to understand your own needs deeply. It's not about vague hopes like "I want success" or "I want happiness." It's about defining what success looks like to you, what happiness means in your life, and then asking for it in clear, undeniable terms. When you speak with clarity, you show confidence, not arrogance, but a firm belief in your own worth and purpose. This clarity also helps the person you're asking understand how to say yes. The clearer your ask, the easier it is for others to see how they can help, what role they can play in your journey. It eliminates confusion, guesswork, and hesitation. You transform your ask from a hopeful plea into a precise invitation for collaboration. So, if you want to get whatever you want, don't just dream it. Define it. Make your desires so vivid and clear that they can't be mistaken. Because in the art of asking, clarity isn't just helpful, it's essential. It turns your words into action and your dreams into reality. Crafting your ask is where the true artistry of getting what you want begins to unfold. It's not just about saying the words. It's about how you say them, when you say them, and the energy you bring to that moment. Every word you choose, every pause you take, and every gesture you make shapes how your request lands. The art of asking is a dance between intention and expression, and mastering this dance transforms a simple ask into an irresistible invitation. Imagine for a moment that your ask is a message in a bottle, floating on a vast ocean of possibilities. If the message is unclear, awkwardly worded, or rushed, it risks sinking without ever reaching the shore. But when your message is carefully crafted, thoughtful, compelling, and respectful, it has the power to capture attention, spark interest, and inspire action. It's about being strategic with your words, not manipulative, but intentional. Start with respect. Remember, when you ask for something, you're inviting someone to participate in your vision. You are asking them to give a part of their time, energy, or resources. Approaching this with respect means acknowledging their value and their freedom to say no. This isn't about demanding or pleading. It's about presenting your request as an opportunity for mutual benefit. People are far more inclined to respond positively when they feel respected and trusted. Tone is everything. The way you say something often speaks louder than the words themselves. Confidence paired with humility creates an energy that is magnetic. Speak with conviction, but without arrogance. Show that you believe in what you're asking for, but also that you honor the other person's perspective. A warm, genuine tone builds bridges where cold, hurried words create walls. Timing, too, plays a crucial role. Even the most beautifully crafted ask can falter if delivered at the wrong moment. Being attuned to the other person's situation and state of mind shows emotional intelligence. Are they distracted or stressed? Are they open and receptive? Waiting for the right moment to ask demonstrates patience and awareness, making your request easier to hear and accept. The structure of your ask matters as well. Begin by setting the context, remind the person why this matters to you and how it aligns with a shared value or goal. Then clearly state what you need. Avoid beating around the bush. Clarity here reduces confusion and makes it easy for them to say yes. Follow up by explaining how their help makes a difference not just for you, but for the bigger picture. When people understand the impact of their yes, they feel motivated to support you. Use positive language. Frame your ask in terms of possibility and opportunity rather than limitation or desperation. Instead of saying, "I'm struggling and need help," try, "I'm excited about this project and would love your support to make it happen." Positive framing creates enthusiasm and invites collaboration. Nonverbal communication is often overlooked, but is incredibly powerful. Your body language, eye contact, and even your breathing convey confidence and sincerity. Standing or sitting with an open posture, maintaining gentle eye contact, and speaking with calm, measured breaths signals that you are grounded and authentic. People respond not only to your words, but to the energy behind them. Another subtle but vital element is anticipation of objections. Skilled askers prepare for possible concerns or questions and address them proactively within their ask. This shows that you've thought things through and respect the other person's perspective. It also reduces friction, making it easier for them to say yes. And finally, leave space for dialogue. An ask should not be a monologue but a conversation. Invite questions, listen actively, and be willing to adjust your request based on feedback. This collaborative approach strengthens relationships and increases the likelihood of a positive outcome. Mastering the craft of asking is not about perfection or memorizing scripts. It's about connecting deeply with your own desires, with the person you're asking, and with the situation at hand. It's an act of presence and intention, blending clarity with compassion, confidence with respect. When you learn to craft your ask with this level of care, you don't just get what you want, you create a ripple effect of trust, opportunity, and growth. Because in the end, the art of asking is an art of connection. It's how we bridge the gap between where we are and where we want to be. It transforms a mere request into a powerful exchange that moves you closer to your dreams, one intentional word at a time. Listening is the hidden power behind every successful ask. Too often, we focus all our energy on speaking, on crafting the perfect words, delivering the perfect pitch, yet forget that asking is only half the conversation. The other half is listening, real, active listening, the kind of listening that transforms an ordinary request into a meaningful exchange and opens doors that words alone could never unlock. When you ask for something, you're stepping into a dialogue, not a monologue. The moment your ask leaves your mouth, the true work begins. Listening allows you to understand the response, not just the words said, but the emotions, the hesitations, the unsaid questions lurking beneath the surface. This kind of listening is a skill, a deep form of attention that requires patience, empathy, and presence. Imagine asking for help on a project. The person you ask doesn't just say yes or no. They might pause, hesitate, or ask for more details. If you're not truly listening, you might miss the subtle cues that reveal their true concerns or limitations. Maybe they're worried about timing, or maybe they need to know how this fits into their own goals. If you catch these clues, you can respond thoughtfully, adjusting your ask to better meet their needs and concerns. Active listening means tuning in not only to the content, but also to the tone and body language. A yes that comes with hesitation might actually mean I'm interested but unsure. A no said softly could mean not now, but maybe later. By paying attention to these nuances, you gain insight into the other person's mindset, allowing you to navigate the conversation more skillfully. Listening also builds trust. When people feel truly heard, they open up. They become partners in your journey rather than gatekeepers of your success. This connection creates a space where collaboration flourishes and solutions emerge naturally. The art of asking, then, is not just about what you say. It's about how well you listen and respond. Sometimes the answer you get isn't the one you expected. Maybe it's a compromise, a not right now, or a suggestion you hadn't considered. Instead of pushing back or shutting down, listening invites you to explore these responses with curiosity. It turns rejection into feedback, confusion into clarity, and hesitation into opportunity. Each response becomes a clue that guides you closer to what you truly want. This openness to listening also requires humility, the willingness to admit you don't have all the answers and to learn from others. It's a reminder that asking is a two-way street, a conversation where both parties' needs and perspectives matter. When you embrace this, your asks become less about demands and more about collaboration, increasing your chances of success exponentially. Listening deeply also means resisting the urge to interrupt or defend yourself. Often, when someone responds, our instinct is to jump in quickly, clarify, or persuade. But this can shut down communication and create resistance. Instead, give the other person space to express themselves fully. Let silence do its work. Pause before responding, and consider carefully how your next words can honor what you've heard. There's a rhythm to this kind of listening and responding. a flow that, once mastered, feels natural and effortless. It transforms the ask from a risky gamble into a conversation where both sides feel valued and understood. This is where true magic happens. So, remember, asking without listening is like throwing a message in a bottle into the ocean without ever wondering if it reached shore. Listening is your compass, your map, your way to navigate the vast sea of human connection. It's the secret ingredient that turns a simple request into an invitation that others want to accept. In mastering the art of asking, listening is your greatest ally. It deepens your understanding, strengthens relationships, and unlocks doors you didn't even know existed. Because, at its core, the art of asking is really the art of connection, and connection begins with listening. Rejection is often seen as the enemy, the final no, that stops us dead in our tracks, the closing of a door we desperately wanted to walk through. But what if I told you that rejection isn't the end of the story? What if rejection is actually a vital part of the journey toward getting what you want? The art of asking demands that you embrace rejection not as failure, but as a stepping stone on the path to success. Every no you receive is a message, a lesson wrapped in disguise. It's not a personal attack or a sign of inadequacy. Instead, it's feedback, sometimes clear, sometimes subtle, that guides you to refine your ask, sharpen your approach, and strengthen your resolve. When you begin to see rejection this way, it loses its sting and becomes an invaluable tool for growth. Think about the most successful people you admire. Do you think they never faced rejection? On the contrary, their stories are often filled with countless no's before they heard their first yes. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10 zero ways that won't work." Each rejection was a clue, a piece of the puzzle that brought him closer to his invention. Every no he encountered was not a stop sign, but a guidepost pointing toward eventual success. Rejection also builds resilience. When you get comfortable with no, you develop a thicker skin and a stronger heart. You stop taking things personally and start focusing on the bigger picture. This resilience fuels persistence, the relentless drive to keep asking, keep trying, keep believing in your goal despite setbacks. Because here's the truth, persistence is the bridge between asking and receiving. Rejection pushes you to refine your ask. Maybe your message wasn't clear enough, maybe your timing was off, or maybe the person you asked wasn't the right one to say yes. Each rejection forces you to pause and reflect. It invites you to adjust your approach, improve your communication, or seek new opportunities. This cycle of ask, listen, learn, and ask again is the heartbeat of success. And rejection also teaches humility. It reminds you that no matter how confident or prepared you are, the world doesn't owe you an answer. It encourages you to approach each ask with gratitude and openness, valuing the chance to engage rather than demanding a particular outcome. This mindset transforms asking from a transaction into a genuine interaction, but most importantly, rejection reveals your true commitment. When faced with a no, do you give up, or do you find another way? The answers to that question define the difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't. Every rejection is a test of your dedication, your willingness to keep moving forward when the path gets tough. So, when you ask, and you will be told no, remember that rejection is not your enemy. It is your teacher, your motivator, your guide. It pushes you beyond comfort, beyond easy wins, into the realm of growth and possibility. Embracing rejection means stepping into the full power of asking, knowing that each no brings you one step closer to the yes, that changes everything. In the grand dance of asking, rejection is not a misstep but part of the rhythm. It keeps you moving, learning, evolving. It reminds you that getting what you want isn't about avoiding failure, but about mastering the art of persistence, patience, and resilience. When you see rejection this way, you no longer fear it. You welcome it as the necessary fire that forges your path to success. Persistence is the quiet force that turns dreams into reality. It's the steady heartbeat behind every success story, the invisible engine that keeps you moving forward when the road gets rough and the easy answers disappear. When it comes to the art of asking, persistence is not just helpful, it's absolutely essential, because getting what you want rarely happens on the first try, and often not on the 10th. It happens when you refuse to give up, when you keep showing up, asking and believing, no matter how many times you hear no. Imagine a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble. Each strike might seem small, insignificant, even painful, but over time, those persistent blows reveal the masterpiece hidden inside. Your asks are like those strikes. Each one shapes your reality, refines your approach, and brings you closer to the outcome you desire. Persistence is what transforms initial failures and setbacks into stepping stones toward success. Persistence also means embracing a mindset of growth. It's the understanding that every attempt, whether successful or not, is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve. When you ask persistently, you aren't just repeating the same question. You're refining your ask, adjusting your timing, and deepening your understanding of the situation and the people involved. This iterative process makes your asks stronger, more precise, and more compelling. One of the most powerful aspects of persistence is that it signals to others your seriousness and commitment. When you keep coming back with grace and respect, you demonstrate that what you want matters deeply to you. This dedication often inspires others to believe in your vision, to invest their time and energy, and to become allies in your journey. Persistence becomes contagious, drawing people toward your cause because they see your unwavering passion. But persistence is not about stubbornness or blind insistence. It's not about ignoring feedback or refusing to change course. True persistence is paired with wisdom. It's about knowing when to pivot, when to try a different approach, and when to seek new opportunities. It's the balance between steadfastness and flexibility. This balance keeps you moving forward without getting stuck in frustration or frustration. There's a rhythm to persistence, a dance between effort and patience. Sometimes the results come quickly, other times they take longer than you imagined. Patience is the companion to persistence. It keeps you grounded, hopeful, and steady. It helps you manage disappointment and maintain your focus on the bigger picture, even when progress feels slow or invisible. Consider the stories of great inventors, entrepreneurs, and leaders. Their common thread is persistence. They faced rejection, criticism, and failure, but they never stopped asking, never stopped trying. They understood that every no was temporary, and every obstacle was a chance to learn and grow. Their persistence turned obstacles into opportunities, doubts into breakthroughs. Your journey in mastering the art of asking will be no different. You will face challenges, rejections, and moments of doubt, but persistence will be your anchor. It will keep you asking the tough questions, seeking the right answers, and moving relentlessly toward your goals. It will remind you that the path to getting what you want is rarely a straight line, but a series of determined steps. So, when you find yourself hesitating after a rejection or questioning whether to ask again, Remember this: persistence is your greatest ally. It's the force that turns small efforts into big results, fleeting chances into lasting change. It's the proof that you believe in your dreams enough to fight for them, no matter what. In the art of asking, persistence is not just a tactic. It's a way of life. It's the relentless pursuit of possibility, the refusal to settle for less, and the courage to keep asking until the universe responds. Because when you combine clarity, courage, respect, listening, and resilience with persistence, there is no limit to what you can achieve.